Has anyone ever said to you that you have glottal fry, or maybe they use the word vocal fry, and they hear it when you present? If they have told you that, it is probably a distraction that they are experiencing when they speak with you or when they hear you speak. And once you have a distraction in your speech, the audience, whoever that is going to start paying attention to that. And once they start paying attention to that, they are no longer listening to you. And once they're no longer listening to you, you have lost credibility just like that. If you have this problem, you might want to listen to this episode. Hi, my name is Lynda Waltner Stucky, and in this episode, I'm going to be showing you some ways to eliminate glottal fry if glottal fry or vocal fry is present in your speech. The second strategy that I want to give you is called the cup and straw method. You are going to need a straw, and I usually use these metal straws just because environmentally friendly, but you can use a plastic straw as well. So you need a straw, and if you need these supplies, feel free to turn your video off and go get them. And the second thing you're going to need is either a styrofoam or a paper cup. And we're going to be using both of these today. So if you have them handy, go ahead and go get them. When we use a basic kitchen straw, you can greatly improve your overall tone, your breath control, and really the comfort of your voice as you speak. These straws are going to help you balance your voice by keeping your vocal folds closed, which is what we are really looking for to have a clear and consistent sound. What we're trying to do here is to equalize the pressure at the level of the vocal cords to the pressure above the vocal cords. And so using a straw is really a good way to do that. For one thing, you are going to have to push harder. You're going to have to use that good breath support that we were just talking about to keep it very clear starting here. But also the pressure that you feel up here should be about the same. So we're equalizing that pressure. So what I'm going to do, the temptation is going to be to send this through your nose like you're humming or something like that. But we're not going to hum. We're going to say vowels, or we're going to pretend to say vowels by placing the straw in our mouth and saying ah. Now, of course, you see my mouth wide open when I say ah, but I'm not really going to open my mouth. I'm going to keep my lips pursed tightly around this straw. So here I go. And while I'm doing this, I am listening for a clear sound at the level of the vocal cords. Okay, so this is what it's going to sound like. Now, if this were to change in terms of the way it sounds, if I were to go something like this, you would be able to hear that I've got that gravelly sound in my vocal cords, and we don't want that. So you're focusing on a couple of things. You're focusing on keeping the sounds clear and natural. You might feel a little bit of a buzz up here in your lips and some buzz a little bit on your face. And that's all good. That's all good stuff that you're doing when that happens. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to change vowels. Even though you may not hear a difference between my vowels, I'm going to do that. Okay, I said ah, e, and oo. Every one of them was very clear. Now, if it hadn't been clear, I would try again until I got it correct. This exercise is intended for you to really hear the kind of voice that you want to be making, a clear, consistent sound that has no gravelly sound to it. So that's why we do this. But as you know, we don't talk with a straw in our mouth. So we are going to go to our cup. After you've done this for a little while to get the feeling and the sound of what it's like, we're going to go ahead and take a cup. Now, I have a styrofoam here, and I don't really like using styrofoam cups, but it fits over my mouth a little bit easier and a little bit because of the size of my face and whatnot. So I'm going to use the styrofoam. You can see that I have put a hole at the bottom of it like this. And what I'm going to do is place it over my mouth like this and get a real nice tight seal. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to say, ah, and I'm going to you're going to hopefully feel like you feel some airflow at the level of your mouth. This is going to stay clear as well and consistent. And you're maybe even going to feel some buzz in your face as you are speaking. So let me do it for you. I don't know if you heard it well enough or not, but when I first started, it was kind of tense and tight. It didn't have a very clear sound, to be honest with you. It had sort of a tight feeling, and I was able to relax a little bit because I heard it and the sound came out much smoother and clearer than the first time I tried it, or when I first started it. So let me try it again. I'm going to add some glottal fry to this and then readjust. When I'm doing this, I really need to use good breath support so that the sound comes out nice and clear. So don't forget about that. You're working on two things. This should be a little bit easier than the straw. And now that you have that down in terms of the feeling, you can go through all the vowels first of all, but then let's start doing what we were doing before when we were learning about breath support, and that is to count. And again, achieve the same clear, consistent sound throughout our counting. So here we go. Let me try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, I heard it. It kind of had that popping sound. The glottal fry was present for a minute. Let me redo it then. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So again, we're going back to some very simple speech tasks, doing something that's rather automatic for you. Counting is automatic. Saying the days of the week, saying the alphabet, even saying a poem or something that you know really well doesn't require a whole lot of thought. And we do that intentionally for a reason, and that is you don't have to concentrate on what you're saying or what you're thinking and speaking at the same time. Those tasks are rather automatic for you, and so you don't have to think about it. So it's a great place to start. Once you've done that, you can also do things like reading, which also doesn't require a whole lot of thought. It's just the practice of the clear, consistent voice. And that's exactly what we want. Okay, but before you even get to reading, or if you want to do this on reading, that's fine. But what I'm going to recommend is that as you're getting it more comfortably, then I want you to use your cup at your mouth, but then also take it away and see if you can achieve that same nice, consistent sound from here, but also more airflow up here and the buzzing in here. So watch this. This is what it would look like. You'd go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Ooh, I really had to push. I noticed my breath was running out and I I had to squeeze harder and harder in my core in order to count until 18. You don't have to go that far. You can do comfortable amount of breaths, as opposed to letting all your air out as you speak. This is a great start to eliminate glottal fry from your speech. And some people have to spend a significant amount of time at this step, both with learning how to breathe correctly and also using the straw and the cup. So you have some work to do before you might want to incorporate this into more conversational speech. So I highly recommend that you start with this, work on it for a while, and once you worked on it for a while, you can slowly incorporate it into other speech tasks, like conversations with your family and friends, ones that maybe not friends that aren't so important, but the conversation isn't so important that you do it so very, very well. I would call those low stake conversations that are easy to work on something during a conversation. And a high stakes conversation would be like maybe giving a presentation or at a meeting or asking your boss for a raise or something like that. Those are higher stake conversations that's really not the time to be working on this, right? You want to make it a habit in these other lower stake conversations, in these automatic speech tasks, so that it transfers into regular conversation. So that when you do have a high stakes conversation, it just automatically happens for you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this is a good start to eliminate your glottal fry. If you have any questions, please post them below. And again, please subscribe, like, and let me know that these are being helpful to you and that you'd like to see more. That just gives me reason to continue teaching you how to use your voice and develop your speech, language, and voice in ways that are of value to you at work.